Thank you, Mr. President. Members, today's the day that we all look forward to. That's the most important vote, I believe, as a legislator that you make, is the budget vote. It's about our priorities. So I want to just identify in this budget some of the priorities and some of the things that aren't priorities that I think we've failed to recognize. We're going to spend $1.1 billion on high-speed rail. We're going to spend $1.2 billion to bail out public transit. That's a priority. But we're going to cut over $75 million for housing for veterans. So just to remind you, that's where our priority is at. High-speed rail and bail out of transit over our veterans. When we talk about health care, we have the MCO bill we passed a couple years ago, which is a tax on the health plans, which goes into the general fund and doesn't fund hospitals. There's $4 billion in the general fund that goes to undocumented. That's the priority over hospital funding. Now, the people that walked across the border yesterday did not participate in paying taxes or anything, but they have the right to go to our hospitals and use our emergency rooms, but we're not funding them. So I think that's a priority that needs to be addressed. We have $20 billion to fund offshore wind, but we're cutting CDCR by $500 million. So priority is wind over making our streets safe. A priority to fund Caltrans for electric vehicles, $280 million to replace zero-emission vehicles, as we're cutting broadband for rural communities and for students to be able to get on the internet and do their homework. Now, for my last point, and the one I talk about every year, the business community in California. One I'm very near and dear to because I actually operate a business in California, and it's one of the toughest places in the country to do business. If you recall, during the pandemic, when unemployment was rampant, the state of California borrowed money from the federal government to pay unemployment benefits. The business community has to pay back that money, not the state. When we had fraud, billions and billions of dollars of fraud, and that's saddled on the backs of the businesses. $18.8 billion we still owe the federal government. That's the state of California and businesses in the state. So if you're operating a business in this state, this budget is going to pay the interest, $500 million, even though it was our unemployment agency that squandered billions of dollars in California. The net operating, so in a business, you can either raise taxes or you can take away tax deductions. $5 billion in tax deductions are coming away from businesses in California, and so the net operating loss. Now, I know that I always ask every year, show me one thing in this budget that's going to help keep a business in California. Just one. And I challenge you to show me what keeps businesses to stay in California, because I can't find any. Now, I know yesterday during the budget hearing, we heard about the TAP funding, which $23 million goes to Technical Assistance Program for startup businesses, small business. We heard a lot of folks talk about that. That's great. That's to start a business. That's not to keep a business running in California. That's to start a business. So I think we should focus more on the people that pay the original tax. Our businesses in California pay the original tax. You cannot have a strong public sector unless you have a strong private sector. And so I want to just end by sharing some statistics I've worked on for the last couple months. I have every single district in the state of California right here. You're welcome to look at it. Of businesses have left your districts and left California. These are high-paying jobs. There are green jobs, and I'm just going to take the top 5 districts and just name off a few. So in Senate District 10, we've lost 36 companies. $264 million battery plant went to Kentucky. Tesla moved to Nevada, 5,000 jobs. In Senate District 11, 122 companies. Over half of those were headquarters that left for other states. And I have a list of all the places they went: Texas, Tennessee, Florida. Senate District 13, 69 companies, including Google, Tesla, Oracle, Johnson & Johnson. Worldwide companies leaving California. Senate District 15, 33 companies. Apple went to Austin, Texas. Netflix. Senate District 26, 63 companies, including billion-dollar solar energy companies. Green jobs leaving California. And the last one, Senate District 37, 39 companies. Rivian, $5 billion plant expansion. Panasonic, solar manufacturing plants, $2.5 billion. Folks, look, at the end of the day, I've been talking about this for some time, that it's very difficult to do business in California, and if we don't have businesses, we don't have a tax base to do all the things we need to do in government. We need to supply health care. We need to make sure our streets and roads are safe, absolutely, and when we keep our streets safe. But we're not doing a very good job when it comes to keeping the tax-paying businesses in California. So until we start focusing on how we keep businesses in California, keep them safe, they're getting ransacked by criminals. That's part of the reason they're shutting down and leaving. We need to do a better job. For those reasons, I can't support AB 107, and I urge a no vote.